Hello everybody, today I'm watching This Black Hole Could Be Bigger Than the Universe by Kurz gesagt.
You might be inside a black hole that's inside a black hole that's inside a black hole. Everything in existence could be black holes all the way down. It turns out black holes are much weirder than you think, and they break the universe much more than is usually explained, destroying time and space. And they may actually create infinite universes in
So I'm assuming that the theory here is just that everything is in a black hole, as in the entire universe is just inside a black hole and that black hole is in another universe or something like that. That is technically possible because we don't know what's inside a black hole, so theoretically there could be a whole nother universe in there. There probably isn't, but it's theoretically possible. You can't fully deny the possibility because you can't prove it's not the case, so you have to assume it's a possibility. Would be pretty cool actually if there was different universes in black holes and those black holes were basically just gateways between the universes. That would be pretty fucking awesome. Not that it matters because none of us are ever gonna live to the point where we might be able to travel to a black hole, so it doesn't really matter.
the process.
But it's interesting to think about.
That, let's first build a black hole out of air.
Okay.
Everything can become a black hole if you squeeze it to a critical limit.
Oh.
You'd need to squeeze Earth down to the size of a coin for it to turn into a black hole. The sun needs to be squeezed down.
How much force would you need for that? To squeeze the entirety of Earth down to the size of a coin? I'm sure I can find something about it on the internet, but I'll just show that up on screen later.
To the size of a small
When I'm
city
editing.
to become a black hole. And if a lot of mass is concentrated in a really tiny space, you get something super dense. This is usually how black holes are explained. Stuff becomes super dense and collapses into a black hole. But actually, you don't need any ultra-dense stuff to make them. We're ignoring some maths here, but all you really need to know is one thing. The larger black holes get, the less dense they are. So, really large black holes are kind of thin. A sun-mass black hole is only about 6 kilometers wide and has a density of about 1 Himalayan range per cubic meter. The supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way has a mass of 4 million suns, a diameter of 24 million kilometers, and a density of 6 blue whales per cubic meter.
Oh, that's...
The ultramassive black hole IRAS
way less.
2100-4156
How
has a
does that
mass of
work?
3.8 billion suns and is as wide as the solar system. But because it's so large, it is only as dense as air. This means, at least in theory, that if you take a gigantic balloon and fill it with undecillions of tons of air, the moment it gets to the size of a solar system, an event horizon suddenly forms and it turns into a supermassive black hole, without violence or squeezing. So now, let's think big. What do we need to make a black hole the size of the universe? A universe-sized black hole. The chunk of the universe that we can see from Earth is a sphere with a radius of 45 billion light-years, filled with hundreds of billions of galaxies.
That's only the observable universe. The universe... How big really is the universe? You can't really tell because we can't see past this point. The entire area that we can see, however much this is, could just be a tiny speck of the entire universe. And we will never know. That's what kind of pisses me off about this, is that we will never know the answer to any of these questions. Especially not us. Stuff like this is not going to get discovered within the next probably couple of thousand years. We will be long dead by that point, which is really annoying. Because I want to know the answers to this stuff, but I never will get them. That really sucks.
Lots of gas and a bunch of other things. If you add them up, it has the mass of about 1 million billion suns. Of other things.
A turtle, on top of which are elephants. On top of which is, what, Earth? I've heard like a theory where apparently the universe is being held up by a turtle or something. It was one of the stupidest things I've heard, and I think that's supposed to be a reference to it.
If you add them up, it has the mass of about 1 million
They were probably on
billion
crack.
suns. Which sounds a lot, but on average, the universe is not very dense. If we break up all the galaxies, stars, gas and energy and spread them equally inside the volume of the universe,
Another
we
reference.
get an average density of about 5 hydrogen atoms per cubic meter. You can imagine this as the sort of ultra-thin cosmic air that makes up the universe. What would happen if we take a balloon as big as the observable universe and fill it with cosmic air? Well, it turns out that all the mass in the observable universe is more than enough to create a black hole. Actually, it's enough to make a black hole 10 times larger than the observable universe. But that can only mean one thing. We should be living deep inside a truly gargantuan, cosmic-sized black hole. There's one catch though. We know that our universe is expanding, and an expanding universe is not what you'd expect to see if you were inside a black hole. So our universe can't be a black hole, at least not in the naive way we've just described. Except that
Our universe could be in a black hole. We'd never be able to find out though. This is something that will always remain a theory, no matter how technologically advanced we get, because how would you prove it? You would have to somehow escape our universe and get out of the black hole that it's in. And the amount of light years, it's just not feasible. It's not possible. It would take way too much time to even travel that far. It's just another thing that we will never have an answer to. And I fucking hate it.
there's a wild and mind-bending trick the universe could play on us. To find out how, let's jump into a black hole and die. A whole universe born inside a black hole.
How do you know you will die inside of a black hole though? What if it sucks you up and you still live? You don't know.
We usually imagine black holes as spheres with a singularity at their center, a point where all their mass is concentrated so much that our maths breaks down. But this is a lie. They are so much weirder. From the outside, a black hole looks like a normal black sphere.
I mean, all of that
but the inside
and all
is
of
where
this
things
is just a
stop
theory.
making sense.
None of this is really
Black holes warp the
concrete
universe so
proof.
much that at the event horizon, space and time switch their roles. Inside a normal sphere, space is finite, but time goes on forever. But inside a black hole, it's the other way around. Space goes on forever, but time is finite. So once inside, you see an infinite universe with no center. The geometry is too complicated, so we're simplifying. But basically, you could walk forever in one direction, or walk in another direction and arrive at the same place again. But not only that, inside a black hole time is finite and it's now running out. So after a while you start to notice that space itself is slowly changing. In one direction space is being stretched, while in all other directions space is shrinking. The whole universe is being squeezed, kind of turning into a collapsing spaghetti. Sooner or later the whole black hole universe collapses into itself. All of space, every single part of it, is turning into a singularity. So the singularity of a black hole is not at its center or in any direction at all. It's in the future of whatever falls inside. We made a whole video about this if you want to learn more. So
Well,
the
I'm watching that
singularity is not a
next.
place where you can go, it's an event in time that happens. Once it happens, you and everything else that fell inside the black hole will be mercilessly crushed into an infinitely small region with infinite gravity and infinite energy.
How nice.
Time, space, none of it matters anymore. Both kind of stop existing in ways that we would recognize. And then, is this the end? Well, maybe not. This collapse of the black hole universe into a singularity looks like one of the scenarios for the end of our universe, the Big Crunch, where long after the Big Bang the whole universe collapses into a singularity again. But if there's a big crunch, there might be a big bounce, like a rubber
Honestly, it's hard for me to even try and find something to talk about because I'm just trying to process what they're spitting at me right now.
ball that you've squeezed too much and that suddenly rebounds. Space might expand again. So a new universe could be born inside a black hole. The funny thing about this scenario is that nothing has changed in the slightest outside the black hole. Watching from the outside, it's still a black sphere of
It looks
nothingness.
nothing different.
And yet, on the inside, a new universe has been born. So maybe our universe was born like this, and we are all actually inside a black hole. But if our universe can also create black holes,
It would just
they
be a
might give
constant
birth to new
cycle.
universes. Is our black hole universe also just part of a universe further up that's also a black hole inside another universe? Is there an end to it? Is there one original universe? Is the cosmos black holes inside black holes inside black holes?
There wouldn't be an original one, would there? Because it's a black hole, so So theoretically, it can keep getting smaller, but it can also keep getting bigger. So it's infinite in both directions. Oh god,
Infinite black hole universes. If the universe creates black holes that create universes, that then create new black holes that create new universes, this cosmic self-reproduction would be subject to natural selection. A Big Bang is a chaotic and messy event, so it's possible that the new daughter universes would not always be fully identical to their mums. Sometimes physics may be slightly different, with some fundamental values higher or lower, and so some universes might be able to create loads of stars, planets, and black holes. Others might not, maybe creating a uniform cosmic soup where no stars, planets, and black holes form. But if all universes are born inside black holes, in the long run all universe lines that don't create loads of black holes would die out. The universes with the conditions for loads of black holes would become the most common and spawn the most daughter universes. Survival of the fittest, but with universes instead of organisms. Our observable universe alone has created at least 10 to the power of 17 black holes so far. So maybe our universe...
How much is that? 100 quadrillion? I think he said that was just the observable one.
...has created universes instead of organisms. Our observable universe alone...
Yeah, our observable. So how much is there in the entire universe, which we don't even know the size of?
...has created at least 10 to the power of 17 black holes so far. So maybe our universe has the physics and laws it has because it was born after a long process of cosmological selection that favored the production of tons of black holes. And that would have a lovely side effect. If universes are optimized to create as many new black hole universes as possible, they're optimized to create loads of galaxies and stars. And thereby also, by accident, the conditions for life to emerge.
So what if every single black hole just has a universe in it? That's 100 quadrillion universes in just the observable universe, which is our universe, yeah. So if there's 100 quadrillion, even if we could somehow travel in between them, it would be impossible to even document every single one. And considering that every single one probably has way more inside of it as on top of that, it's just... It's infinity.
So universes that are the best at creating new universes are also the best at creating life. If this scenario is true, who knows how many bazillions of black hole universes might be out there, all with stars and planets potentially home to others like us. So, is our universe like this? The truth is we don't know. While these ideas are based on real science and work on paper, they're speculative and not testable.
Pretty much.
Also,
I mean, that's just everything about space in general is just speculation. You can't really prove a majority of it. I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff you can prove about space, but most things about space are just theories, not something you can prove because we don't have any solid evidence for it. I mean, the Big Bang, you can't prove it. You don't know if it happened. How would you? It's all a clusterfuck. It makes no sense. I'm just leaving it at that.
Click universes don't actually explain why the universe exists in the first place, or why it is the way it is. Instead of providing answers, these are really just new questions in disguise, so keep that in mind before getting too excited. But isn't it just wonderful and heartwarming that we're living in a universe where ideas as big as this one are even thinkable? There might be so much life. And if new universes are created constantly, maybe life will go on forever.
Oh god. Honestly, let's pretend this is real, right? And there is actually just infinite universes. That would mean the multiverse theory is true. Hell, there could be a universe which is literally Star Wars. There could be another universe which is Harry Potter. There could be another universe in which fucking My Hero Academia could be real. There could be another one where How to Train Your Dragon could be real. There could be another one where Game of Thrones is real. Just imagine the possibilities. Man, it's a shame I was born in the 21st century. It makes me sad to think about how much stuff it could possibly be discovered after I'm already gone. And I will never get to experience or just even see it. Or just hear about it. If someone told me that the Game of Thrones universe actually exists and is a real thing in some random black hole in our universe, that would be fucking awesome. But yeah, it's just a theory. Yeah, my brain is just still really just trying to process all of this. You know, I was supposed to just react to a random video today, but instead brain don't work no more. Whatever. Like, subscribe, comment. The link to my Discord server is down in the description below. Check that out if you want, and I will see you in the next video.